Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So with the 2020 NBA draft just around the corner, one of the projected top picks and the #1 point guard prospect is supposed to be Lamelo Ball. So imagine that you are the GM, the owner of a basketball team. You are able to draft Lamelo over the course of his next 15 to 20 year NBA career. How do you build the perfect team around him, man? For today's video, we are going to figure that out. But before we get going on this, guys, if you don't mind hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, man, showing that crispy support, it would be greatly appreciated. And for the big baller question of the day, I want you to go in the comment section below and give me your perfect starting five around Lamelo Ball based off of what you know about him. But remember to keep it realistic. Now, obviously, the perfect starting five would be Lamelo with LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Anthony Davis. But of course, that is not very realistic, guys. Okay, so who exactly is Lamelo Ball? Well, according to NBADraftRoom.com, their draft notes, Lamelo Ball is a flashy playmaker who brings a ton of excitement to the game. He isn't blessed with great athleticism, but his advanced skill level makes up for his athletic shortcomings, and his size for position is a big plus. Ball is a crowd pleaser, and with his deep range and flashy passing, he plays with great pace and keeps the defense on its heels with how he pushes the ball up the court and makes plays off the dribble. So obviously, before we build the perfect team around him, we got to go through his strengths and his weaknesses. That will allow us to kind of, assemble the guys around him, because the idea is for Lamelo Ball to be the #1, #2 player on the team and have everybody else kind of complement his style of play. Now, also keep in mind that I don't know if Lamelo Ball, based off what I know about him, will ever be able to be like the best guy on a championship team. I always think he's going to need, somebody else out there to handle the offensive load, somebody he can essentially, get the ball to, and those two can dominate together. So looking at his strengths, Ball is an advanced ball handler who possesses a strong left and the ability to take it into the lane with either hand. He is fast and crafty with the dribble and has a quick crossover and a lot of shake and bake to get past his man. He can handle against pressure and has a quick change of direction to shake free. He does a nice job of drawing the defense and dropping it off to a teammate in the paint or kicking it out for a three. He can make the one-hand pass off a live dribble and really have a special feel for finding the open man. Lamelo has deep range on his jumper, and although his shot isn't falling at a good rate, it's enough to keep the defense honest so that he can capitalize on his dribble drive game and playmaking skills. His shot is a little funky, but I wouldn't be surprised if he can become a really good three-point shooter over the next few years. Ball can get his own shot in a variety of ways. He pulls up for deep threes before the defense can stop out to guard him, or he can hit on a variety of runners and floaters in the mid-range. Now that he's grown to at least 6'7", his ability to score in the lane is much improved. Ball plays with oversized confidence and swagger, which rubs off on his teammates. More than anything else, his court vision and uncanny feel for the game is what makes him a high-level prospect. So I think right away, already looking at his strengths, you can see a lot of comparisons to his older brother, Lonzo Ball, who also came to the NBA with that uncanny court vision, but also his jump shot was just a little wonky at times. Now, over the course of this past NBA season, Lonzo Ball was able to improve that. His form looks so much better these days, to the point where he's actually like a really solid three-point shooter. But even looking at UCLA, Lonzo was a pretty good shooter back then too. So I don't know if Lamelo will ever be as good of a shooter as Lonzo Ball will be, but just already having that height over his brother is going to help him transition over to the NBA game. Very good out there. Now, looking at some of his weaknesses, Ball is just an average athlete and lacks top-level explosiveness and speed. He doesn't elevate well, and his lack of strength and leaping ability makes it harder for him to score in traffic and score over length. It remains to be seen if he can put on enough weight and add enough strength to hold his own at the highest level of play, although he's got a much improved frame since last year. Now, defensively, Ball doesn't bring the same effort and energy that he brings to the offensive end. He lacks the strength to guard bigger guards, and his average quickness can lead to blow-bys. He doesn't always hustle back on defense and seems more concerned with the offensive end of the court. His lack of defense will be highlighted when he gets to the NBA level. So obviously, looking at these strengths and weaknesses, we can see that Lamelo Ball obviously cares more about offense, making the big play out there, the home run play, which can be dangerous at times, but also a lot of fun for fans to watch. And, when it comes to his weaknesses, defense is the key, man. Like, he has to work on his defense, he has to work on his frame, he has to work on, bulking up and be able to stop some of those explosive guards. Those are the type of guys he's going to be going against in the NBA. The Russell Westbrooks, the Damian Lillards, the Steph Currys, all those guys can get to the basket, all those guys can get their shots up, all those guys have the strength advantage over Lamelo. Now, obviously, him only being 18 years of age, he'll be able to get there over time, but obviously it has to be something that he works on, man. So knowing these things about Lamelo, what would be the perfect team assembled around him? So obviously you want Lamelo to play the point guard position. I do know he has the height to play shooting guard, probably the small forward spot at times, but I think overall you want the ball in his hands, making plays for others. So it's really important to be able to have guys that can be 3-and-D type of players, guys that, you know, can obviously take over offensively, but is also being second in command to Lamelo Ball, allowing Lamelo to make the play for them. So looking at the shooting guard position, I thought the absolute perfect player alongside Lamelo was going to be Marcus Smart of the Boston Celtics. For one, strictly because of the defense. I mean, Marcus Smart does not back down from anybody. He always has his teammates' backs. But also the thing about Marcus is that, you know, his three-point shot's not bad. He's getting a lot better at it over the years, at about 35% this past season. But he does a little bit of everything. He's one of those guys that can play as a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. Or if at times Lamelo Ball is struggling, you can put the ball in Marcus Smart's hands and he can make a play for somebody else. He averaged 13 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds per game. But obviously we know he's one of the better, if not the best perimeter defender in the NBA. I don't know if I would go that far, but he definitely is one of the top, at least, guard perimeter players in the entire NBA. So I got him at the shooting guard spot for Lamelo Ball. At the 3 spot, we have a guy that can give the basketball to, and he's just going to score it. And that's going to be Kelly Oubre of the Phoenix Suns. I love his athleticism. You definitely want athletic plays alongside Lamelo Ball, you know, running up and down the court, but also guys that can play in the half court. On this previous NBA season for the Phoenix Suns, he had one of his best, if not his best season of his young NBA career, scoring 19 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block per game. I can already see it right now. Kelly Oubre running down the lane, you know, off the fast break, sitting in the corner for the catch and shoot 3. So many different ways that you can utilize this man in the offense. I feel like a guy like Lamelo Ball is going to be able to get the most out of him. Now, this next spot, the power forward position, this is a guy that, you know, you obviously would want him on your team, but due to a few really serious injuries, you're not too quite sure how it's going to pan out, man. That's going to be Jonathan Isaac of the Orlando Magic. So in his short term inside the bubble, he was playing like an absolute superstar. I think there was one game where I saw where he shot like 7 for 8 with like 15 points. I think that might have been the game he actually got injured. But once again, another guy that's going to make up for Lamelo Ball's lack of defense, but also bring extreme athleticism to the team. To the point where, you know, you can actually see Jonathan Isaac get to be a 20-point per game scorer just feeding off of Lamelo Ball. This previous NBA season, in limited games due to injury, did average 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 2 steals per game. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of on the fence between either Jonathan Isaac or Aaron Gordon. One of those power forwards / small forwards I think would be the perfect fit alongside Lamelo Ball. And then last, but certainly not least, at the center position, guys, we are going to have the guy that I think just completes this entire process. Because so far with Marcus Smart, Kelly, and Jonathan Isaac, those are all guys that play fantastic off players and brings you some scoring, some defense, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But like I said in the beginning of the video, we need that final piece. We need that guy that could potentially be the best player on the team or doesn't mind being the second best player to Lamelo Ball if there's going to be games like that. And that is going to be the man, Karl Anthony Towns, guys. Yes, Karl Anthony Towns, this previous NBA season, 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. Extremely athletic center. Probably the best three-point shooting center, big guy in the entire NBA. And that's exactly what you want with a flashy player like Lamelo Ball. Because Lamelo Ball is going to be able to get you the ball in a multitude of ways. Has that be, you know, driving to the basket, kicking it out in the pick and roll, pick and pop, really any sort of way that you can think about. Lamelo Ball is that creative with it, and you need a guy that can, you know, utilize any of those methods to score the basket, man, and that is going to be Karl Anthony Towns that can score in all of those different ways out there. Now, obviously, looking at all these guys, it would be pretty tough to get all of them on one team, but based off of this right here, man, my choice for Lamelo Ball would be to go, or hopefully to get drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves. I do know that they already have D'Angelo Russell, so that could be a little bit of a wonky fit. But right away, you get Lamelo Ball playing out there with Karl Anthony Towns, and I think that really has good potential going forward. And plus, Lamelo being 6'8", I think would be completely fine, you know, if D'Lo / Lamelo were in the backcourt together, much so like Chris Paul and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did for the OKC Thunder this past NBA season. It worked out pretty nicely, man. And actually, maybe even having more of a natural point guard like D'Angelo Russell playing with Lamelo Ball in the beginning would be a good start, because obviously one of the worries with Lamelo you have going forward is, you know, if you give him the reins to a basketball team, is he going to be mature enough yet to really get them to the next level? I have a feeling that with Lamelo Ball, it can go one of two ways. You know, he's either going to ball out instantly and just bring excitement, bring, you know, just like that spark to a franchise, or he's going to be trying to do a little bit too much, a little bit too soon, ticking off his teammates. And yeah, we all know that can lead to a disastrous beginning for anybody's NBA career, man. So yes, just to summarize, my perfect team around Lamelo Ball, being realistic, obviously, would be point guard Lamelo Ball, the 2 spot with Marcus Smart, 3 Kelly Oubre, 4 Jonathan Isaac, and 5 Karl Anthony Towns. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and remember, the big baller question of the day is to comment your perfect starting 5 around Lamelo Ball, but remember to keep it realistic, man. If you guys want some more videos like this of me building around, you know, future NBA draft prospects, even current guys in the NBA, man, be sure to drop a like. Let me know in the comment section below. Hope you all enjoyed. Peace out, my friends.